It has the potential to change the climate so that, there are people who, like myself, who don't have to live 40 years thinking it was something I did.
Rebuilding trust after decades of abuse. A new independent report released today details how past leaders with the Roman Catholic Diocese of Bridgeport responded to years of clergy sexual abuse of minors. Channel 3 New Haven Bureau Chief Matt McFarland is live in Bridgeport now with more on that story tonight. Matt?
Denise, the retired Superior Court judge who prepared this lengthy report described it as a tale of two cities. On one hand, you had the past 18 years, the changes that have taken place with Bishop Frank CAGGIANO, his predecessor William Loria, going to more transparency, compassion for the survivors. He says comparing that to the mishandling of abusive priests from prior bishops that had gone on for years.
When you have a wound, you need to clean it out completely, or it really cannot heal.
And this independent report looking at decades of clergy sexual abuse within the Roman Catholic Diocese of Bridgeport is a start.
My heart goes out to all those who were harmed and victimized and who survive each day with some very deep scars.
Survivors like David DeAndrea, who says a priest wrestled with him when he was 13 years old. He says it only happened once because his mother called the rectory.
She says, "What are you doing? Why are you late?" I said, "Well, Father wanted to wrestle with me." She said, "What?" I said, "Now he wants to take a shower." She said, "No."
The investigation, headed up by retired Superior Court Judge Robert Holzberg, identified 281 incidents of sexual abuse involving 71 priests. We're told the victims, mainly boys, were between the ages of 5 and 18. Of those 71 priests, 10 were responsible for most of the abuse and most of the $56 million in payouts.
I was taken by, not in a positive way, the response of certain of these administrations and the apparent indifference and almost callousness that they displayed towards the survivors.
Specifically, Bishop Walter Curtis and Bishop Edward Egan, shown here, who later became a cardinal in New York. According to the investigation, the two who have since died failed to act as mandated reporters and didn't remove accused priests, but reassigned them to other parishes. The report goes on to say Egan would try to conceal the details of priest misconduct and that he was more concerned about preserving church assets than protecting its people, even describing him as hostile and unsympathetic towards survivors that came forward, often not believing them and re-victimizing them.
I'm a person that's asking and not going to stop demanding that every photo and every name and every building with those two be removed. They're a disgrace.
Now, in addition to the investigation, the report also laid out a number of recommendations, including continuing to reach out to survivors, reviewing certain past credibility determinations involving some priests, and also going over mandated reporter procedures with clergy and staff. We're live with the mobile newsroom in Bridgeport. Matt McFarland, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.